Okay, our topic we have is writing equations of line. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about how to find the slope of a line. So there's two ways, and the first way is really simple. You can just count the rise over the run. So we see here, this is where our line is. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it rises 4, and it runs negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the slope is negative 4/5.
The next method to find the slope of a line is using an equation, which is y1 minus y2 all over x1 minus x2. So we know that this point right here, it's negative 1 and 2, and this point is 4, negative 2. So we can plug these into an equation. So y1 would be 2 minus y2, which would be 4, all over x1, which would be negative 1, minus x2, which is negative 2. And that equals 4 over 5 and be negative 4/5.
Okay, the next thing we're going to do is find the point slope form of an equation of a line. This is the equation y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So we know our points, so the first thing we can do is pick either point and give it a spot in the equation. So I'll pick 2 for our y1. Because I picked 2, I have to use negative 1 as our x1, and we already know the slope is negative 4/5. So all you have to do is simply plug those into the equation. So y minus 2 equals negative 4/5. And because it's a minus a negative, you have positive 1.
Okay, now we can find the equation of a line in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. The m stands for the slope and the b is the intercept. So we can use simple algebra to convert this equation that we previously found into this equation. So all we have to do is distribute the negative 4/5 into the parentheses. So it would be negative 4/5 x minus 4/5. So then we have to get y by itself, so we add the 2 to this side. So y equals negative 4/5 x plus 6/5. So that would be our slope-intercept form, which is...
Okay, now we're going to do general form of an equation of a line. And the general form is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are standing for whole numbers. So we go back to our slope-intercept form that we have, and we're trying to get the x and the y's together. So we have negative 4/5 x, so we just add that to the side. Then we have 4/5 x plus y equals 6 over 5. And to get them to be whole numbers instead of fractions, all we have to do is add 5 to each side. So then you end up with 4x plus 5y equals 6.
Now we will be going over some properties of slopes. So for slopes of parallel lines, they have to have equal slopes. So this is the line from before, so we know that this slope has negative 4/5. So this line above has to have a slope of negative 4/5 also, so we will prove that. This is negative 1/4, and this point is 4 and 0. So we could use just the simple method of rise over run, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that this is negative 4/5 as well, which proves that these two lines are parallel. Next, we will be doing the slopes of perpendicular lines. So we know that their slopes are opposite reciprocals. So this should be a 90-degree angle. We know from before that this line has a slope of negative 4/5. So this slope should be 5/4. Set over here. So we can use rise over run. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the rise is 5. All over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we know that these two lines are perpendicular because they have opposite reciprocal slopes.